tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth, let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to fumble. I still rock down, drop the ball when I run through. I drop the classic shit and drop the ball. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
And this is the OnlyFights podcast.
Episode 10.
Episode 10. Thank you for tuning in. We gotta do like all the YouTube stuff. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. You know,
share.
Hit the notifications. And thank you once again for supporting us.
Yeah.
So
hopefully everything gets better as we go. We can, develop more shit.
Oh yeah. We're gonna step up the production quality. We'll be on Spotify and all those streaming networks.
All the DSPs.
Real soon. So we're looking forward to that.
Word.
Yeah. We had a real fun day of fights, man. Yeah. Like yesterday was
jam-packed.
Was packed with boxing and MMA. It was beautiful. So over in UK, they had the zone card,
Yeah.
AJ taking on Olexsandr Usyk. Let's start off with Calum Smith making his debut in light heavyweight division, taking on Lenin Castillo. Now, Lenin Castillo, he fought Marcus Brown, who he dropped him. He lost that fight, but he ended up dropping him, and he was game. He went a full 12 rounds with Dimitri Bivol, who's arguably one of the best in the light heavyweight division. And Calum Smith, man, he came in, had a good jab, threw some nice combos, and in the second round, knocked him out so bad, it was nasty. He caught him with the overhand right, and then the left hook as he went down. And Lenin Castillo, man, he did not look good. We posted that video on the story.
Yeah, it was kind of scary the way he went down.
Yeah, his legs was shaking, and it took a good like 20 minutes to get him out of the ring, man. He had to go to the hospital. I just seen that he was discharged, and he's fine.
But yeah, that was nasty right hand.
Whew. So Calum Smith, man, his last fight he lost to Canelo, and Canelo whooped him, bro.
So after the Canelo fight, he went up to light heavyweight.
He moved up to light heavyweight, and I guess that's where he has more power. He might have been draining himself too much at 168. So. Good stuff for Calum Smith, the hometown native.
Yeah, look good.
You know what I mean? Speaking of hometown, we had a hometown fighter, the son of legendary Ricky Hatton, former titleist, opponent of Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Yeah, he came up just short. Nah, he was good though. He just so happened to had to fight those guys. Those guys.
Yeah, he was like the man before he fought them guys, right?
Yeah, he was like pound for pound and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So his son Campbell Hatton, who I never really seen. I might have seen him before. I can't remember if I seen him, but he came in. This was his first 6-round fight, and he came in against a last-minute opponent in Sonny Martinez. I apologize, I don't have the records, but both these guys, don't have that much experience. I don't think either one's ever been in a 6-rounder before. Neither of them had any KOs, so I didn't know what to expect. And I'm watching them fight, knowing that Campbell's a favorite, and dude, he was all right, but he was getting whooped, man. He was getting hit with a lot of counters, and I wasn't sure how the fight was going to be scored. I wasn't really scoring it, but I did think Sonny Martinez was winning, and he was doing a lot of taunting, which had me concerned because you're fighting a hometown fighter.
Yeah,
and I think taunting works against you in that circumstance.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I didn't score the fight, but it definitely looked like Campbell didn't do enough to secure this victory. And lo and behold, they gave it to him. The crowd booed, and a lot of people, like online, on Twitter, stuff, man, they weren't happy. So, that definitely didn't look good for the main event. You know, because a lot of people thought the same thing about Usyk. They said, I don't think Usyk can secure a decision victory over AJ over there, in UK.
Yeah.
So that was really concerning.
And when they show that stadium, you could understand why. Like everybody in that building is cheering for him.
Dude, you know, Canelo's the face of boxing, but AJ had. I mean, I don't know about now, but AJ's been the biggest draw. Like he's packing these,
soccer stadiums.
What's the Wembley a couple times. It's crazy, and it just goes to show how big boxing is outside of America.
Especially in the UK, it's kind of surprising. I didn't think that.
Yeah.
Because they don't. So it's almost like boxing is bigger in the UK than it is here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look historically, man, like I think boxing like freaking started in the UK. Like I think like the first fights were over there, and even back when it was like bare knuckle boxing and all that stuff. Yeah, like all that stuff was going on.
Because maybe Canelo could probably fill a stadium like that here, but other than that, I don't know who else is.
Isn't there a stadium in Mexico that holds like
probably
like 120,000, like some ridiculous number like that?
Probably.
Like a freaking.
The soccer stadiums are huge.
Yeah, man. I'd love to see Canelo, just take like a big fight, like Canelo versus David Benavidez, 2 Mexicans. You know what I mean?
Mexico, yeah.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
Fuck yeah.
That'd be nuts. But anyways, got a little off topic there. Yeah. So boxing got a robbery. Another black eye for the sport we love. But after that was the co-main, which was a WBO cruiserweight title fight between the champion Lawrence Okolie taking on his mandatory and Dylan Prosovic. Pretty good fight, First round was a feel-out round. Okolie started to open up in the second round, laying some big shots, big right hands. And in the third round, caught him with a nice body shot, knocked him out. Dude couldn't get up.
Third round?
Third round. Prosovic was undefeated coming into this fight. So, pretty good win for Lawrence Okolie. I looked at the cruiserweight division, and I'll be honest, it doesn't seem like there's much going on there. But Breedis, who was one of Usyk's opponents and gave him a good fight, probably his toughest fight up until the AJ, you can argue, even still, is one of the champions. So maybe he can unify. Cruiserweight division's always like a.
So Usyk was champion cruiserweight.
Yeah, he was undisputed.
Oh shit! So he like vacated?
Vacated and moved up to heavyweight. So
Damn.
That left the cruiserweight division wide open. And yeah, the cruiserweight division is always like, treated kind of like like stepchild. You know what I mean?
To the
like,
heavyweight, yeah.
Yeah.
The JV heavyweights.
Yeah, more or less. I did see that they have a bridgerweight, like they're doing the bridgerweight thing, which is like.
In between those two?
In between those two, yeah, because of how big the heavyweights are getting. I hate that.
It seems like...
I think that's,
Or maybe they just need to make like a super heavyweight division.
I don't want that either, man. I don't want no more weight classes.
Yeah, there's
more weight classes
boxing,
means
right?
more belts and more... Yeah, we don't need that. But nonetheless, good win for Lawrence Okolie. Like I said, I think he's looking to unify with some of those guys in his division. And I'm all for it.
Probably trying to follow in the footsteps of Usyk.
Yeah. Speaking of Usyk, we move on to the main event, where Olexsandr Usyk, another WBO mandatory, takes on the champion, and Anthony AJ Joshua, unified champion. He has all but the WBC, so the WBO, WBA, and the IBF titles. This was a fight where I got the prediction wrong, although I don't think that my prediction was that wrong, because I thought it was a really close fight, and I thought my other prediction was right on the money, because I said that this was going to be a really good tactical heavyweight fight. And I thought about something that I didn't get to mention in the show, but I said, when's the last time I seen 2 heavyweights that looked like this? You know what I mean? You usually see the heavyweights, and some of them are a little on the head, like Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? On the heavier side, or like,
just bigger.
Yeah, overall, yeah. Even like Adam Kanaki and a lot of those guys that, you know, they're in shape, but they just don't look like the part. And when you watch like a movie or something like that, you know what I mean? You don't see that often. So I said, this is like kind of like some movie shit. You know what I'm saying? A movie type fight. That's how I looked at it. And it was really good, really tactical. You know, Usyk came out really fast in the opening rounds. A lot of good footwork.
Yeah, moving real well.
Really tricky for AJ. I had him winning like the first 3 rounds. And around the 4th is when AJ started to find his rhythm.
Yeah.
And I think, I had AJ winning 4, 5, and 6. So by the middle of the fight, I had it even. And, you know,
I think everybody had it like that for the most part at that point.
The second half of the fight, you know, it was a lot of close rounds.
Yeah.
But, you know, Usyk just seemed to be too tricky for AJ. Like, AJ, he was going to the body really well, but I don't think he tried to land one uppercut to his face. You know, like, that's his money shot. And I think he was just a little too tentative to throw his hands. And when you factor in like the speed, you know, there's similarities with the Andy Ruiz fight.
Yeah.
You know, because of the fast hands, and you know, I don't know, man. Maybe that had something to do with it, but
it was really impressive. Usyk got like real comfortable, real quick. Like,
yeah.
He found his distance early. Was like touching him up early. And
that was the question that we wanted to know. Like, can he fight like this against an elite heavyweight? You know, in today's day.
That was my question in the beginning. I was like, how long can he keep this up? Because he was looking great.
And you know, upon that robbery with Campbell Hatton, hey man, I was like really worried about his chances of getting the decision. But I do think that he fought well enough, and not to take nothing away from him, but I also do think that AJ just didn't fight. I feel like he could have did more. You know, especially in the later rounds, because you know the championship rounds really mean something, and Usyk really put it on, especially at the end, literally at the last like 20 seconds of the fight. He caught him, he had him up against the ropes. You know, he was hurting him. Well, I wouldn't say hurting him, but you know he was doing enough work to you know, maybe make a case that AJ was about to get stopped.
He definitely wobbled him a few times, like and so that's what I was thinking in the beginning. Like, he hurt him pretty early. I think it was like maybe like the second or first.
Yeah, he clipped him.
Where he kind of wobbled him a little bit, and then from there on, it didn't seem like AJ ever really like fully, I don't know, got his confidence back, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it seems, right? Like
I don't know if he was hurt the whole time, but it seemed like he just lost all his confidence at that point. Like,
like whenever because I was trying to think about it like the Povetkin fight, where he was getting lit up in the first couple of rounds, and you know then catches Povetkin, but it really was more like the Ruiz fight, where like you said, he, you know, when he got stunned early, I think it was like the third round or something, second or third round, and from there he fought a little too cautious. I thought he displayed some good defense. Blocked a lot of shots and moved around, moved his head, you know, good head movement. But he didn't capitalize when he had opportunities, and he didn't throw that uppercut. He threw it to the body, but not, you know, to the face.
Yeah, it just seemed like he didn't throw too many like power shots to the head, like really. Especially towards the end of the fight when. Yeah, I mean those championship rounds.
He said, I saw somewhere that he said he couldn't see well out of his eye after, like, in the 9th round. I guess after the 9th round.
Yeah, he had some pretty good swelling right under his eye.
They both look pretty messed up too. Like after the fight, like,
yeah.
Just looking at them after the fight, again with the whole like movie thing,
Yeah.
like it just, yeah.
And the back and forth, like it was like 3 rounds, Usyk 3 rounds, Joshua, and then it was just
right
even more competitive after that.
Right. For a heavyweight fight that like nobody really got hurt or dropped.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you could argue that it's a fight of the year contender.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah. So that was that. That was the Dazn card, with the exception of the stupid robbery. Man, it was really good. It was really good. You know.
A couple people mentioned the thing with the bell. How it almost seemed like they stopped the fight early at the end to save Joshua. Some people were saying.
Oh yeah, Dazn was notorious for that. Their timekeeper and like the clock, the graphics manager or whatever. They're really never on sync.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I think I did notice a couple times that like it seemed like the rounds were ending early.
Yeah, and you'll hear the 10-second bell when there's like 16 seconds left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah. But
So what do you think's next? You think Joshua gets the rematch?
Yeah, yeah. He has a rematch clause, and he already said that he's gonna do it. The question is if he can adapt. I mean, he's gonna have to take those chances and really, try to hurt Usyk, because I do think that there was a point in time where Usyk landed a nice combination, and AJ caught him with a body shot that literally just stopped Usyk in his tracks, and then he clinched, and I said, okay, if you didn't hurt him, you did enough.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep doing, and he got to land more shots to the face.
Especially towards the end when Usyk did slow down. You know what I mean? At the end he did slow down. They were standing right in front of each other for.
When Usyk fought Chisora landed some pretty good like right hooks, and Chisora's a good power puncher, and he seemed to be really bothered by those shots.
Yeah.
And I know AJ got more power than Chisora. So, like, he just has to work on being offensive. I think he has to work for the knockout. Yeah. Like for this next fight, he's like, don't leave it up to the judges. You saw him trying to act surprised when he's like, what? Get out of here, bro. And then he did. He just left the ring. But, yeah, I think he needs to work on going for the kill.
Do you think he's like lacking motivation, and he almost needs like these losses to come back and work harder and prove himself?
Something like that. Yeah, because it really does seem like once he gets uncomfortable, that like it's hard for him to come back from that.
Yeah, and adjust. It seems like he doesn't adjust very well.
Exactly. So like, I mean, you might be onto something, like. If that's not it, it might be something close to it. Like, yeah, just taking L's. But, unfortunately, you can't really do that in boxing. You take too many L's, man. Sometimes people just won't give you that chance anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll see where he goes from here. I mean, if he can secure the rematch, well, he can. I mean, it's on the contract. So, see if he can do it. But I don't know, man. If he's gonna fight like how he did there, he has to fight like how he fought Klitschko.
Yeah.
That's a fight where he got dropped, got hurt, and came back and knocked him out, stopped him. So he has to fight like that, man. And in that fight, he landed the beautiful right uppercut that he usually throws. Yeah. So that's what he has to do. He has to be a dog in the next fight and say, yo, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm gonna knock you out. So, but as far as heavyweight goes in boxing, we got the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight in 2 weeks. So if if Deontay Wilder beats Fury, that'll be weird. Like, then we'd have to have Usyk and Wilder for undisputed, and
that's crazy.
Just like how I said about AJ needing to bully, like Wilder will bully Usyk. He don't care about the slick movements, and he don't care about getting hit. I know Wilder got a better chin than AJ. At least that's what he shows.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen AJ get dropped and hurt, like wobbled a couple times.
That's one of those things where, like, as much as Usyk is a much better boxer than Wilder, I think Wilder will knock him out, bro. Like, I don't think that, because he's just not big enough to withstand that power, you know.
Yeah.
So that's not a fight I'd be willing to, you know. Like AJ versus Fury, even AJ versus Wilder, you know, would be better because AJ got that power too to knock Wilder out. So that would be a better fight to watch.
Yeah, I think it's good, you know, to have another top contender in there for heavyweights.
Oh yeah, and then we have Otto Wallin, who gave Tyson Fury a pretty good run when he had his eye cut. He's taking on Dillian White, and Dillian White, man, that dude's been on the back burner forever.
Yeah. For
since 2017 or something like that. It's insane. So it's only a matter of time before he gets in the mix. And in that undercard with Wilder and Fury, you got Frank Sanchez taking on Efe Ajagba. Not to mention, Edgar Berlanga was added onto the card, and so was J-Rock, Julian Williams.
Yeah. So
that's going to be a pretty lit card, man. On top of the Kanaki and Hellenius, and who else? Oh, Jared Anderson is on that card. And if I'm not mistaken, Nico Walsh, Ali's grandson, I think they put him on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, so pretty cool, fun stuff for boxing coming in the next month, really.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. But the beautiful thing about watching these fights in London, here in America, is that they're over by like 7 o'clock. And when in the same night there's a big UFC event, we could watch that. Yeah. Because UFC266, that was a lit.
Yeah, right after.
That was a lit card, man.
Yeah, it was really good. Since the early prelims, there was 2 fights in the early prelims that are worth talking about. Matthew Semisberg and Martin Sano. I know Matthew's been on, I think it's like his third fight, his third win in a row. 28 years old. He got the knockout in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, right hand.
Pretty much landed one right hand and put him out. He dropped him. He's pretty much already out, and then he hit him with one hammer fist, and then he just went straight to sleep, like stiffened up. Hell of a fight, you know what I mean?
That was a nice knockout.
Welterweight. He's 9-3, so excited to see that guy fight again.
15 seconds, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. Pretty much, he threw one punch, right? I think he might have thrown something to the body, and then the right hand over top.
I think it was a counter, right?
Yeah,
it was a counter shot, and then he fell, and then he just hammer fist, and by then the referee stopped it. That hammer fist was the one that really put him to sleep.
Yeah. His eyes were open, and then he literally like went to sleep after the hammer fist.
Yeah, he was looking at the stars, man. And then he went to sleep. Yeah, that was a nasty knockout. And that dude didn't look like a fighter, man. I mean, like in the sense that if you seen him out in the street, you know, he's just dressed in regular casual.
Yeah, he looked
clothes.
like if he had a t-shirt on, he just looked like a regular ass guy. Like
you'd pick a fight with him, like
yeah, for real.
Good night.
Yeah, that was impressive. The other one, Uros Medic and Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is from the Contender Series. I've seen him fight a couple times. Both young guys, both real tall for lightweight division. Jalen Turner was like 6'3", and Medic was 6'1". This was Jalen Turner got the submission in the first round. This is also his 4th win in a row. Got him with the rear naked choke. Pretty much from the beginning was like stalking him. Seemed to kind of get the better of him on the feet, and then took him down and was mauling him on the ground. His nickname is a tarantula. We saw why real quick. Like his limbs are so long. It's crazy. He was standing up. You know, Medic was on his back, and he was standing up, ground and pounding him so easily. Like, you know, getting his arm down to the mat so easy. It was crazy.
Just getting so much torque on those punches. Man. That was nice.
That's a nice advantage to have there. Like, be able to land those strikes. But yeah, that guy's an exciting up and comer. He's 20. I think he's 26 years old.
Nice.
Lightweight. That's gonna be like I think about him fighting some of the other lightweights. Like this guy was taller as well, so we didn't really notice it as much. But all those other guys aren't very tall at lightweight. The champ Charles Oliveira, I'm not sure how tall he is, but Dustin Poirier, those guys aren't very tall. Connor.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be exciting to see him come up.
And he's what,
6'3",
6'3",
155. Super long, like real athletic. Known as a striker, and I guess he started working on his ground game. His last 2 wins are by submission.
Most of those guys at lightweight are like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
because they're like my height.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's crazy. 6'3". Like the other guy, like I said, Medic is tall at 6'1". This guy's 6'3". On to the prelims. Prelims were good too. Roxanne Modafferi lost a decision to Talia Santos. Wasn't the most exciting fight. Chris Dukakis, who I found out last night from Philadelphia, a heavyweight,
Nice.
knocked out another Russian guy, Samil something. Got the TKO in the second round. I think he dropped him twice, right?
Yeah.
He dropped him the first time. It was pretty bad. He was almost out.
3 times, I think.
Yeah, in the second round, and then the third time he finally put him out. The ref stopped it. Really cool knockout. Fun to watch. Don't know much about this guy. He's only 12-3. That was fun. That was a fun fight. And then the one I was really looking forward to was Dan Hooker and Nazarat Hakprasad. Nazarat is he's a young guy. I think he's 28. He's German. I thought he's from for some reason I thought he was from somewhere else, but he's from Germany. He's fighting at a TriStar gym, which is where George St. Pierre fought out of. So he had George St. Pierre, and then Faraz Sahabi, who was George St. Pierre's head coach. He had them two in his corner.
Yeah, it's good company.
Yeah. This guy, high prospect. A lot of high expectations for him. Fought Dan Hooker, who Dan Hooker's a veteran now at this point. He's been around for a while. He's been in some wars, and that's what it pretty much was. It seemed like your classic, veteran and rookie matchup. He just showed him some real mixed martial arts. You don't see Dan Hooker take guys down too much, but I think he took him down like the second round and the third round, and pretty much dominated on top. This fight almost didn't happen. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. Apparently, they both had visa issues. Like in New Zealand, Dan Hooker's from New Zealand. He fights out of the same gym where Israel Adesanya fights out of.
Okay.
City Kickboxing. In New Zealand, I guess because of COVID, they like completely shut down, and so he wasn't even allowed to train. He said Dan Hooker was saying how he has his own gym apparently, and he said like cops were coming to his gym telling him that he can't be training here with people. He can't be in his gym with people. Pretty much, they're not allowed to train.
Wow.
So he pretty much had to like train on the low, like he said that he had to go to his gym like on like he said there was a couple. He said he got at least like 2-3 warnings from the cops. Them coming to his gym, pretty much saying that if we catch you again, we're gonna arrest you.
Wow.
So that's pretty crazy. And on top of that, he was having visa issues, but it was just the government like not just fuck with him basically, just like the cops were like they didn't want to let him come here. They didn't want to let him fight. Yeah. Basically. Yeah, and I guess he put out a message on social media, pretty much like begging the government like to to give him his visa and let him come and all this shit. And they gave it to him like last minute. Like he flew in, I think he got there like Friday. He got there like Friday morning, and had to make weight like that morning. Like he landed and had to make weight the same day on Friday. That's crazy.
Wow.
And then Nazarat pretty much did the same thing. He was having visa issues. And he also did the same exact thing. He flew in on Friday and had to make weight Friday. So props to both of them for being able to make weight like that. Like I'm sure that wasn't easy. I wonder if that had anything to do with Nazarat's performance, because he really didn't do much. Like Dan Hooker was stalking him the whole time, was the aggressor, took him down. Like didn't see. I was a little surprised we didn't see more from.
Yeah, I see him land a few shots here and there, but for the most part he got schooled.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm glad they were able to make the fight happen. And then also after the fight, Dan Hooker pretty much spilled the beans that City Kickboxing is gonna move to the U.S. for now. So Izzy and Dan Hooker, even Volkanovsky, he fights out of there too. Even though I think he's from Australia, but he fights out of that same gym with them. So they're moving to the U.S. I guess for now to train because they're having so many issues over there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Izzy and all them. Like Izzy documents it all the time. Like if you follow him on social media, like before and after every fight, he has to quarantine like 2 weeks in New Zealand by himself, like in a fucking hotel room, before and after every fight and shit.
Wow.
And you know, for somebody like Izzy, I think it's, you know, he doesn't have kids yet. Dan Hooker got kids. You know what I mean? Like, and you always see videos of him. Like, that's gotta be tough. Like before and after,
Yeah.
that's almost like a month. You know, that you don't get to see your family just because you got one fight.
Right.
Like that's crazy.
On top of all the training and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
it's
ridiculous.
wild. So that's gotta be real stressful and shit. So I'm glad the fight happened. That was dope. That was a good fight. Dan Hooker, he didn't fight for the belt. He fought Poirier, and then he lost to Poirier and he lost to Chandler. Those were his last 2 losses. So he really needed this win. He's definitely still a top 5 guy. He just has lost to, you know, arguably to number 2 and number 3, pretty much. But yeah, I'm sure he'll still be around for a while. And now with them moving to the U.S., hopefully he could fight more often. Even though he fights pretty often as is, he fights a lot. The feature prelim fight, Marlon Moraes and how do you say this one?
Devalshi?
The Cheville?
Or Devalshi?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Devalshi, I don't know.
But that was a pretty crazy fight. I know that the Russian guy fights out of I forget what gym it is, but he fights with Aljamain Sterling. He's partners with Aljamain Sterling, and he always has him in his corner. And that's always interesting. I thought that was always interesting because they're the same weight class. You know what I mean? A lot of times you don't see like training partners in the same weight class. They're usually like one's, you know, right above, right under each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, Aljamain is the champ right now. But yeah, we'll talk about that then. So Marlon Moraes, first round, like, you know, stuns the Mirab pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like drops him, ground and pounds him. He hits him with a lot of like big shots standing up before he falls. And the guy just keeps fighting. He doesn't, you know what I mean? He doesn't hold still at all. So
There was like 2 times where the referee could have stopped
yeah,
it.
very easily. By like the way he fell, even though, you know, every time he fell, he kept moving. So I think that's what saved him. But
Right.
but both times that he got dropped, the way he dropped was kind of like, damn, like you thought he was out.
Yeah.
But he kept fighting, kept getting to his feet. Marlon Moraes emptied the gas tank right at the end of the first. And then it was crazy. Right after all that, like immediately after it, as soon as Moraes like stops throwing, Merab gets the takedown. Like that was crazy. Like after all the damage he took, he gets the takedown and finishes the round. You know, dominant position, ground and pounding. Moraes is clearly gassed out, and he's kind of known for that. So as soon as I saw that he didn't get the finish, I was like, you know, Marlon's in trouble.
Yeah.
Second round starts. Moraes seems to not have, you know, really got a second win. He still seems pretty tired. And same thing, you know, Russian guy takes him down and is grounding and pounding him. And that's how he finishes, right? I think he finishes like in full mount, ground and pounding. It was pretty quick in the second round. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive
a lot of heart.
comeback. Yeah.
Yeah, nice comeback.
Like that could have very easily, like you said, that could have very easily been stopped like 2 times.
I think I was calling for the stoppage, man. He was just getting rocked.
Yeah, like I said, the way he dropped, like when you see the body go limp like that, you're like, wow, he's out. Yeah, that's crazy. So this guy comes up. You know, Marlon Moraes is ranked, I think, top 10. So this guy's probably gonna get ranked up there now. A lot of people in that bantamweight division for him to fight.
Yeah.
Should be exciting. 14-4. Marlon Moraes is 23-9. I'm not sure how old Marlon is, but I feel like he's probably getting up there. He's been around for a while. I don't think he was ever champ, but he fought a lot of champs. And then on to the main card. The main card was really good. Jessica Andrade and Cynthia Calvillo. women flyweight fight. That was I was expecting a little more from Cynthia. I was rooting for her, for the Mexican, and Jessica's we've seen her fight a lot. She fights very often. I think her last fight might have been against Valentina.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, for the flyweight championship. She was champ at strawweight, and then she beat Rose. Remember, she like picked up Rose and slammed her on her head, and got the strawweight belt, and then lost to Zhang Weili, the Chinese fighter, and then she moved up to flyweight. Right away you just noticed the difference in power.
Right.
Like Andrade was, came out patient, but whenever she threw, like you saw the difference in power real quick. Like, I think Cynthia Calvillo also came up from strawweight, so maybe that's why she's not as powerful. Jessica Andrade is known for her power, so she's always gonna have power. She finished her in the first round. As soon as Andrade got comfortable and started throwing, she just let go and was unloading, and Cynthia just covered up. And just couldn't do anything about it. Ref stopped it. I think she was standing up though. I don't think she dropped her. And I think that was the first time that Cynthia got finished. She's like a real tough girl. Like, I don't think she ever got finished before. So that was the first time ever getting finished. Jessica Andrade keeps moving up in flyweight, but with Valentina there, she seems fucking untouchable.
Yeah.
She seems untouchable.
Yeah.
I think I would like to see Jessica Andrade go back down to strawweight and fight, some of those chicks again. Because the flyweight, Valentina just seems like a fucking animal right now. Cynthia Calvillo, she's good. Her last win was really impressive. I forget who it was that she beat, but she beat like a good fighter. I'm sure we'll see her again. The next fight, heavyweight, Curtis Blades and Jairzinho Rosenstrike. I think they're both in probably the top 5. They both got knocked out by Ngannou.
Yeah.
I think Curtis Blades' last fight was the Ngannou fight. He pretty much, Curtis Blades is a wrestler. He went for the takedown and just got fucking uppercut. Oh no, it wasn't Ngannou. It was Ngannou knocked him out too, but that last knockout was against Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis, yeah.
Derek Lewis hit him with the uppercut on the way in for the takedown, and fucking he had him stiff as a board. And then Rosinho's last fight was against Cyril Gane. I think Cyril Gane just outpointed him pretty much. And Rosinho also got beat by before that he lost to Ngannou.
He almost caught him with the knee. Yeah. When he tried to come in.
Really bad knee.
That almost took him out, man.
Yeah, Rosinho's like a kickboxer, so this was a classic striker and wrestler matchup. And Rosinho was definitely getting the better of him on the feet. Even though Curtis Blades looked good on the feet, he didn't look bad. Like, he looked good, but then the wrestling seemed to be too much for him. He just was getting him down. But yeah, he did time that knee perfectly on the one takedown that Curtis shot. He timed the knee perfectly and pretty much closed his eye. His eye was pretty much closed. That was, I think, in the second round. Yeah. His eye was pretty much closed after that. And then he played it pretty safe in the third round. Got the takedown and pretty much just stayed on top. So yeah, got the win. And he said after the fight that he was pretty much trying to survive, or not play it safe that third round because he couldn't see out of obviously couldn't see out of his eye. Yeah, his shit was completely closed. But yeah, good win, good heavyweight fight. Rosinho, this might be his third loss in a row now. So yeah, he needs to win. This guy came up in the UFC quick though. Like, he was a kickboxer, and then his maybe like second or third fight he was fighting Ngannou. In the UFC, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. And then the next fight was the return of Nick Diaz. I was like really excited for this, like, on the build up and everything. And then like the day before, I was starting to feel like, oh man, this might be sad.
Yeah, you saw him at the weigh-in, right? And
at the weigh-ins and a couple of the interviews.
Didn't look.
And then we got the news that the fight was getting moved from welterweight to middleweight.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which that did happen. It got moved from, it was supposed to be at 170, and then literally I think the day before, 2 days before, Nick just was like, yeah, I think we're gonna go with middleweight.
Wow.
So I don't know, like, I don't know if it was like he was having a bad cut, or if he just woke up one morning and was like, I don't want to cut weight.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm Nick Diaz, so I do what I want. Just like they gave him the 5-round fight, and I mean, as not even a co-main or nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was kind of nervous afterwards because he was looking very sluggish, kind of, and I don't want to, judge him off the interviews and stuff, but just the way he was kind of moving, his body language.
Yeah, but sometimes that's all you got.
Yeah, like
he hasn't fought in so long.
Yeah, like he just didn't seem like he said it. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be fighting Robbie Lawler. He didn't know why, who made that matchup.
Yeah.
Even though I think that was a perfect matchup for him. I don't want to, and I think, I said that before, that I think that was a perfect matchup, and I think I was right because Robbie put it on him pretty good. We did see some glimpses of the old school Nick Diaz. Yeah. Like there was a couple times where he was just throwing punches nonstop, combinations.
Yeah, almost that whole fight was like a throwback.
Yeah, to the body.
I had a smile on my face.
Definitely the first round. The first round felt good about it. Yeah. Nick just seemed to get tired quick. I mean, I don't know. He seemed to be, or like, I don't know if it was like that he was tired or he just didn't want to be there. Like there was times that he just like putting his arms down, like. I mean, I don't know. It was weird. It was. I mean, just like typical Diaz fight. If something weird doesn't happen, it's not. It's not a Diaz brother. But yeah, Robbie got the TKO in the third round. He seemed that he hit him with like a left hook that must have really hurt him, and then Nick just like takes a knee, and then rolls on his back and is inviting Robbie to the ground, and Robbie doesn't want anything of it. Tells him to stand up. The ref tells Nick to stand up, and it's not clear what Nick says to him, but he just doesn't. He just kind of shakes his head, or just he must have just told him that I'm done.
Yeah. And
then the ref just stops it right there. So that was kind of sad the way it ended. It was it was like I definitely had a smile on my face too in the beginning. The first round was like it looked good. Like those combinations that he throws, like their style was so awkward. Like it doesn't look good, but it's like he's landing these like body shots and punches, like the way he's mixing it up.
I think because it goes back to like that time where like the skill level wasn't as up to par, so like people just took more chances.
Yeah.
And that just made for more exciting fights.
Yep.
I think that kind of like honestly, man, I think like that it's things like that opens the door for some of these like weirdo fights. The YouTubers and stuff.
For sure.
So, but yeah, it's definitely a new.
Yeah, because you can. This fight with Nick Diaz coming back, you can kind of put that in that category of this kind of like weird fight.
Yeah, and with this new like era of guys, I don't know if Nick Diaz, especially in the shape that he's in, I don't know if we want to see him against these newer guys.
Yeah, he didn't look in great shape, and it's interesting because I remember last year when when it was announced that he was gonna come back, he did like a practice cut. Like cut weight down to 170, and they posted a picture of it. He didn't look great. Like he made the weight to 170, but he didn't look good. He looked really drained. Like he didn't look good. So I was kind of worried back then. So, and then he looked out of shape. He kind of looked out of shape in this fight. Yeah, I don't know. Robbie Lawler, obviously hasn't took as much time off, so he was still pretty fresh. And this is his type of fight. Robbie loved it just as much as Nick loved it. Like this is what he wants to do. He wants to brawl. I'm always surprised that the Diaz brothers don't use their jiu-jitsu more, because they have like black belts from like one of the Gracies, Like they're like really high level jiu-jitsu guys too. Which is obviously why Robbie didn't want to go on the ground with him, but I'm always surprised they don't use it more. I mean I guess Nick did use it when he beat Conor. He choked him out. But yeah, so I don't know what's next for Nick. I'm sure he got more fights in his contract. I think he's just trying to fight out his contract probably, because even if you retire and you're like, if you still have fights left on your contract, you can't do anything else like fight wise, because you still pretty much belong to the UFC. So I'm thinking it's more of that. I think it's more like on the business side. Maybe he wants to fight his contract out so that he's not legally binded to them. That's what I'm thinking. Cause it didn't seem like he wanted to fight.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he wanted to be there. Even in like going through all the motions, he just seemed out of it. Like he wasn't sure what the fuck was going on the whole time. It was kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm glad he fought Robbie Lawler, not one of the younger guys. 'Cause I think he would have got really beat up. But yeah. The co-main was Valentina Shevchenko versus Lauren Murphy. I got the prediction right, even though it was a pretty safe prediction, TKO by Valentina. I didn't think she would KO her because I know Lauren Murphy is a tough chick. I don't think she's ever been finished. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't know how she thought she was going to beat Valentina. Like, she's not a great striker. She's not like a great jiu-jitsu, player. I don't know what her game plan was, but it obviously didn't work. She couldn't do anything. It's like, seriously, might have been like a flawless victory for Valentina. I don't know if she got touched in the face. She might have not.
Yeah, for real though.
It was pretty crazy. And Valentina goes out there. She just looks like a machine. Like, she is just like always on. Like, just like a true mixed martial artist. Like, she gets more and more impressive. I don't know. I don't think anybody got anything for her at that weight.
Yeah.
They always just say they want to see her fight Amanda Nunes again. Which I don't know. I don't know if I would want to see her do it. She'd have to go up again. I feel like Amanda's just getting bigger. She got the 4-round TKO. Lauren Murphy's tough, man. She took a beating. She had nothing pretty much. Valentina, everybody was saying that Lauren Murphy's advantage could be, she could be stronger than her in the takedowns or something, but Valentina took her down, over and over again. How did she finish her? I think she was just fully mounted and was like giving her elbows and fucking her up. Yeah, I think she dropped her, right? She like stunned her with like a hook. She stunned her, dropped her, and then finished it with the ground and pound. Yeah, she's vicious, man. Her ground and pound is vicious too. Like, she just throws elbows like with no remorse. Just fucking elbows to the face. It's nasty. Yeah, Valentina's an animal. And I also think it's so impressive at the end when she like talks to all her fans around the world like in 4 different languages.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. She did it in English and Spanish, I think whatever her native language is, and then it sounded like some kind of Chinese or something at the end.
Yeah, man. She was on the mic for a while.
Yeah. And she always does that. It's pretty cool. Very smart on her part.
Yeah.
I don't see her going anywhere. Yeah. She seems to be the type that's just locked in. Like, she's gonna fight until she can't anymore. Like, she's just like you could tell she's like a true mixed martial artist in the sense, or martial artist in the sense that that's her life. Like, that's all she does. Like,
yeah.
She doesn't need any type of motivation. Like, I saw that
she's been doing this since she was a kid, right?
Yeah, she said, I think she's only 33 and she said training for 27 years.
Yeah, 6 years old. Yeah, that's about right.
So that's pretty crazy. And she's ripped. She looks like it. Like, that's what she does. Like, they asked her like, oh, what motivates you now? And she's like martial arts motivates me. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to keep getting better. And that's awesome. That's awesome. It's impressive. I don't know who else is next in line in flyweight for her. On to the main event. This was a really good fight too. Alexander Volkanovsky, featherweight champ, versus Brian Ortega. I think I predicted. Oh yeah, I got this one right too. But again, I think it was a pretty safe prediction.
Yeah.
Volkanovsky by unanimous decision. Ortega. So he had that really bad loss against Max Holloway. He got beat up. That was a title fight. And I guess after that, he went and got like a whole new team. Like, he got all new coaches, like new head coach, new like conditioning, grappling, everything. Yeah. Got a whole new team. Shaved his head, and then fought the Korean Zombie. He beat the Korean Zombie pretty good, but the Korean Zombie, I thought, is way past his prime. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's the man, and I love watching the Korean Zombie fight. But he's been around for a while. I didn't think that even though he beat him up, I didn't think that automatically gave him a title shot again. But that's what happened. He got the title shot against Volkanovsky. Wasn't sure how Ortega was gonna pull it off. I mean, he's a good striker, but he's known for his jiu-jitsu. His nickname T-City stands for like a triangle, because that's what he was known very early for, pulling off the triangle, like he almost did in this one. He was known specifically for doing like a flying triangle, where pretty much he does it standing up, where he just jumps at you and wraps his legs around your neck, which is crazy. Have you ever seen him do it? It's crazy. He's pulled that off a couple times early. Volkanovsky is just, he's out of City Kickboxing too, and like those guys just prepare so well. Like Izzy's coach, I forget what his name is. I think his name is Eugene something, I forget. But that guy just, he's regarded as one of those like mastermind MMA guys that he prepares his fighters so well. And that's what it looked like. Like Alexander had a great game plan, was kicking the leg a lot, really patient and was picking them apart. I mean, the first 2 rounds were really competitive, like especially the first round. I would say the first round could go either way. The first round was pretty even. They were both touching each other up. Volkanovsky, I think, was landing the steady leg kicks the whole fight, pretty much. Second round, I think Volkanovsky started taking over a little more. I think he started touching him up more. And Ortega is, he comes from Mexican background, and he really has that style of like brawler. He's super tough. Like in the Max Holloway fight, he got beat the fuck up, but he didn't get knocked out. He lasted all 5 rounds. No, actually, no. I think they did stop it. I think they might have thrown in the towel. I think they might have thrown in the towel. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was 3rd or 4th round. Yeah. But that was his corner. That wasn't even, obviously I'm sure he would have kept fighting. Yeah. But again, he might be a little too tough for his own good. But by the end of it, he was taking a pretty good beating. And then I think it was the 4th round. No, I think it was the 3rd round, right? The 3rd round, he drops Volkanovsky with like a left hook, or it was a left punch. He knocks him down and immediately jumps on the neck. And he has a guillotine, and you can see it. It's like fully locked in. He has his arm under his neck, and has him there, and you could tell he has it locked. And Volkanovsky does not like it. He's fucking squirming around. He's trying to get him off, and doesn't tap. For a second, I thought he went to sleep because he was squirming like crazy, and then he just kind of stops for a second. I thought he was out, and then I don't know how he just got out. I don't know if Brian Ortega might have fucking gassed his arm out a little bit. But he gets out of it. They're rolling around on the ground. Volkanovski's grounding and pounding him on top, which I thought was kind of a bad idea because Brian Ortega is dangerous on the ground. And then sure enough, he wraps his legs around his arm and his neck and has him in a triangle. And again, looks like it's fully locked in. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, oh, he's either tapping or going to sleep. And he holds it there for a good probably like 20 seconds and then gets out again. And at this point, I know Brian Ortega got to be very, very, discouraged. You know what I mean? Like, those are probably his 2 best submissions he got, and he got out of it. Super impressive. Volkanovsky seemed to never, like, really panic. Like, you can tell they trained how to get out of those submissions. Like, he got out. He knew what to do. He waited, got out. Super impressive. I think, too, like, it has to do with his... like how muscular he is. Like he's real stocky. He almost has like no neck. He has like a short neck, and he got some big traps. He's really muscular around his neck. I think that has to come into play. Like having muscles around your neck like that, it's gotta help you. With the choke. I really think that probably had some advantage to it. And then that was it. For Brian Ortega, that was pretty much his 2 chances he had. I think he had like another submission then after that, but that one wasn't in like the other ones were. And I was surprised Volkanovski kept trying to ground and pound him. Like instead of I would have just stood him up because he got him in 3 submissions. But he got out, so I'm sure he was pretty confident because he got out of him. And then he beat him up, pretty much beat him up the 4th and 5th round. It was getting pretty bad. What was it? The 3rd round ended with Ortega on the ground, getting ground and pounded, and it seemed like he wasn't going to get up for a second. He was just laying straight on his back. Yeah. And it didn't seem like he was going to get up in his corner. They literally picked him up and sat him on the stool, and they're like, 1 more round. That's crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if, somebody throws in the towel at that point. Like, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, his face was bloody and wasn't really winning rounds.
Yeah. And then very end of the fight, Volkanovski kind of was like willing to stand there and still like bang with him at the end, to the very end. Because at the very end, Ortega landed a couple big shots. Weren't very significant, but the last 10 seconds he landed some big shots because Volkanovski was willing to stand there and trade with him. So Volkanovski got the decision, unanimous decision. Impressive performance, man. This guy's good. This guy's really fucking good. Oh yeah, they announced the Max Holloway Yair Rodriguez fight, so everybody kind of thinks that the winner of that is gonna gonna get the next title shot. I think everybody wants to see Max Holloway and Volkanovsky again.
Yeah.
For the third one. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Max. I don't know how Max beats him. I don't know. Volkanovsky seems really fast, and he already beat Max twice, which they were both kind of close decisions. But I don't know what else Max got. Max not really known for his grappling or anything like that. He's not a power puncher. He's a volume guy.
Yeah.
And Volkanovski, he's got a chin. He got endurance. He seemed pretty fresh at the end. He got, Ortega did his thing. It was competitive in the beginning. Volkanovski did have some cuts and stuff on him. He was bleeding too. So it was definitely a competitive fight. It was good. It was a good card overall. I think I got fight of the night. The main event got fight of the night. But yeah, that was pretty good. That was UFC 266. What else we got?
Yeah, it was good, man. What else we got? You see the press conference with Canelo and Caleb Plant?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, that was funny, man. He thought Caleb Plant was talking about his mom. He was just saying like motherfucker, and like that's weird, man, because Canelo was saying that all to Andre.
That's like his go-to curse now.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
So, yo, angry Canelo funny as shit though. Like,
yeah,
just the way he, there's a lot of people that think that he's mad because Caleb Plant keeps bringing up the whole like drug cheat situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pushed him, man. He pushed him back so far, and he just came up. If you saw Caleb Plant actually like feinted with the right, he feints with the right and then smacks him with the left.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just grazes them with his fingers.
Yeah.
But then Canelo kind of just, I guess Canelo just like grabs his face. Like it did look like he hit him, but he was kind of more so just grabbing his face.
Yeah, he also had he clearly had both his hands open too.
Right.
So
yeah.
if anything, it looked like he almost like gave him like a little 1-2, but not really. But he definitely hit him in the face because he had a mark under his eye from his glasses, I guess.
The glasses, yeah. That press conference was cool though. Like, I think Canelo obviously like won that.
Yeah.
But I like what Caleb Plant was saying about the whole, because listen, you got to sell this fight. Like nobody thinks you can win it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do to basically say, just talk as much shit as you can, especially if like he has a point with him being like technically right. Like when he was bringing that up, and then Brian Custer was like, "Oh, do you think he's like, don't ask me." He's like, "Did he test positive for it?" Yeah. He said, "Did he get suspended for it?" Yeah. He's like, "Then why you asking me?" Like he's like, "I don't even understand why this is up for debate." Like he went through it.
Very true.
And I was just like, yeah, there are circumstances which I don't feel like getting into, but there are circumstances where it kind of put Canelo in the clear with the whole tainted meat situation. But I'm really looking forward to that fight. It's a shame that it's gonna be on the same night as 268, but I guess you can go over there and watch it, and I will just watch the Canelo fight.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be there live.
I'll try to catch like somebody's like commentary or something. There's a lot of people that do commentary live where
also I want to like almost kind of document the whole thing on the stories, on the Instagram page.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
That's gonna be really dope. So everybody listening, make sure you guys try to follow the Instagram that day. I'm gonna be posting as much as I can, there, the whole event.
Yeah.
That's gonna be really dope.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, they kicked off that press conference really well.
Yeah, it definitely did the job. It definitely promoted the fight. Definitely got us more excited for it. It was just a little scary for a second when I saw the cut. I was like, oh man, I hope this doesn't push it back.
Yeah. There's still no undercard for it, so we have no idea who's gonna be fighting.
That's weird.
But I guess Canelo, he might feel like he don't need an undercard. Just like a co-main
Yeah,
of somebody we don't even know of a YouTuber.
probably.
Nah, Canelo wouldn't do that. I don't know, but I can tell you what, man, November's gonna be a lit month. I think we start off with for boxing and for UFC. I mean,
Yeah.
268 alone.
Yeah, that card
man,
alone is gonna be
that
crazy.
card's on fire. But for boxing, man, you got the Canelo fight. The first Saturday you got Canelo fight. Then you have, I believe, Usyk taking on David Benavidez, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's the first of the two free fights.
Yeah.
And then you have another pay-per-view in Crawford Porter. I believe that's the 20th. And then you finish November with Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa for a unification bout. And yeah, man, I'm for all that. I'm really looking forward to November.
Yeah.
But as we stated earlier, Tyson Fury and Wilder, that's in 2 weeks. Otto Wallin and Dillian White, that's the end of October. And I believe Mikey Garcia in the middle of October. I forget the date, but comes back, takes on Sander Martin. I'm not too sure what's the thing about that, but I haven't seen Mikey since he lost to. No, he had a fight. Samuel Vargas. He won that. But yeah, that's really all I got for the boxing side of things.
Manny Pacquiao too.
Oh yeah. Manny Pacquiao retired.
Yeah, I saw that he announced that he was officially running for president.
He's running for president.
And so I just kind of assumed that meant that was it.
And I think he actually did say.
Did he put out like an official statement?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's the word, anyways. Yeah. So, great career, wonderful career. Do yourself a favor, Google some of his fights, man. Watch some of his highlights.
Yeah, some of the most exciting boxing fights ever.
Yeah, man.
He fought everybody, at least of that era. Like, he fought so many people.
Yeah, and the era before too. I mean, he's been fighting since the '90s, so
Yeah.
good stuff, man. So, good luck on his. I wish him the best of luck on his presidential campaign.
Yeah, I hope he's. I hope that's like safe, because from what I was hearing, it sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah, politics is always crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to Pacquiao.
Word.
And some MMA news. This crazy fight was announced. One Championship is doing this fight with Demetrius Johnson, Mighty Mouse, formerly UFC champ, long time flyweight champ. He's fighting a Muay Thai guy called Rotang, and this guy, I guess, is regarded as one of the most dangerous Muay Thai fighters right now. And so they're doing this fight that's gonna be 4 rounds, and it's gonna be MMA and Muay Thai. So the first round will be Muay Thai rules. I'm not sure how long the rounds are gonna be, but Muay Thai rules the first round, MMA rules second round, and then back to Muay Thai third round, MMA rules for fourth round.
That's really strange.
Really strange, but I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued by it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I can see this happening more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially as we get these like weird crossover fights.
Exactly. So it's almost like another way of doing it, where both guys kind of get to use their strengths instead of like one coming to the other one's world. This is really more of a mesh of two worlds. You know what I mean?
Right.
As opposed of like a boxer going to MMA or MMA fighter going to boxing. I mean, this is Muay Thai, but this is gonna be really interesting.
I remember thinking, because I know like at one point Dana White was trying to get that Zuffa boxing thing off the ground, and I remember thinking like, how dope would it be to have like a UFC event where you'll have some fights on the cage and then you'll have some boxing events like on the same card.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that would be freaking amazing, bro. So like something like this could open the door for something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I can see more stuff like this happening. Like I for sure could see more stuff. Like how that'd be pretty dope. Like if we see a UFC fighter or an MMA fighter and a boxer, and they do that instead of they go back and forth. Like if Jake Paul should do that with an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
They can do a round of boxing, a round of MMA, and then a round of boxing, another round of MMA.
Yeah, you better get that first round knockout, bro, because if not, you're gonna get tapped out by the second.
So
did you see that video of Jake Paul getting?
I had seen that video before. That's an older video. He does like a little MMA fight. He gets taken down and pretty much beat up on the ground and choked out. I think, right?
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. So. That's gonna be really interesting. That's gonna be on December 5th. One championship. I'm not even sure where you could watch that.
Probably Fight TV.
Maybe. We gotta check that out. That's pretty interesting. You know, Demetrius Johnson is known as one of the best MMA fighters of all time. So that's really interesting. But I wonder how I wonder what the rules are. Like, if you get finished in the first round, is it over? Or
It's gotta be.
But like, what you think? I think it would be cool if like then he gets a chance to redeem himself in the next round and with the other rules. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know,
man, because once you're out, you're out.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if you get put to sleep, then that's gonna be.
I think that's like the incentive. So it's like, if we're gonna start with your style, then you get the advantage. Of like, I get to try to finish this fight before we even get to his side of things.
So I wonder how much Muay Thai. I mean, obviously MMA fighters do a lot of Muay Thai. I wonder how much Muay Thai Demetrius Johnson has done. Because the first round's gonna be Muay Thai, which is basically like kickboxing.
He's more of a ground guy, right?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say he has a really good ground game, but he's like one of those like all around like mixed martial artists. Like he really has solid all around game.
Most of my memories of him are him like on taking people down.
Yeah, he definitely does crazy takedowns too, but I think probably 'cause he doesn't have as much power. You don't see much knockouts, but his striking is top level too. But yeah, he has some crazy like submissions, like the one I think of right away. He has like a flying armbar where he basically grabbed this guy.
Oh, I remember that.
Threw him in the air, and then he like catches his arm in the air, wraps his legs around his typical like armbar position in the air, and then like lands like that on him. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That was like one of the craziest things ever.
Yeah, because of the force of the gravity and all that. That's nuts.
Just basically to throw him in the air, catch him in the position in the air, and then land in position. Like that was just wild.
So superfluous.
Yeah, it was just crazy the way he does it. Like high level jiu-jitsu always looks like magic almost when they're fucking moving around like that and shit. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, so I think if Roteng doesn't, and same thing, I wonder how much MMA he's done or how much grappling he's done, because obviously I'm sure if Demetrius makes it to the second round, he's going for the takedown and he's going for the submission. So it's gonna be interesting. Definitely want to watch that. The other thing, so there was like a new fight league that was announced. What was it called? The World Fight League. I saw Ariel Helwani talking about it.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was part of it or not, but he's been the one talking about it.
I think he is part of it.
And obviously it's gonna like supposed to rival the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a new MMA league. And so it's supposed to be set, like the structure I guess is gonna be more like the typical like NBA, like more like American sports like we know. Mm-hmm. So the structure is gonna be more like that. I guess it's supposed to be more geared towards the fighters. There's supposed to be like a 50-50 split between the company and the fighters or whatever. So it's supposed to be, guaranteed contracts, health insurance, career-ending insurance, and pension plans.
Nice.
For the fighters.
That's beautiful.
Which is crazy that nothing like that really exists yet. At least in MMA. I don't know about boxing.
No, there's nothing like that in boxing, man.
That's pretty crazy. So, they just announced it. They're hoping to launch in 2023. So a couple years yet. But, sounds like it could be game-changing because... that's like the biggest knock against the UFC right now, that they're not paying fighters and they don't take care of their fighters and all this shit. So that sounds really dope. Career-ending insurance and pension plans and all that shit. That's really dope. Because a lot of guys. I mean, we've seen a lot of fighters be successful in other fields afterwards, but I think most of them don't. I mean, they don't find anything afterwards.
Well, that's the thing. Like, kind of like they would have to invest their money in something, otherwise they're not gonna.
Yeah, not all fighters are.
Yeah, man, that's why you see a lot of these boxers wanting to come back and fight. I'm so glad they canceled the Riddick Bowe fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I forget who. There's a guy who's they They started a committee now. There's a committee for banning fights that are like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the Holyfield fight. So.
Well, I saw Holyfield say that he still wants the Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah, I know, but
like what the fuck?
Be like that.
Yo, he has to be thanking God that he didn't fight Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I think that would have been bad. And Tyson was like, yeah, fucking Holyfield fucked up the money. He's like, nah, I gotta fight fucking. I think he said, who's he gonna fight? Or he wants to fight Lennox Lewis now. But apparently Tyson wanted the Holyfield fight, so he was kind of upset that had happened.
Yeah, Lennox is still, pretty bad, man. I don't know. We might be able to get Mike.
Yeah, he's more like looks better and is doing better.
He didn't take the damage that those guys took.
Cause he does some commentary too, right? Doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
Lennox Lewis. Yeah. I think I heard him on Joe Rogan's podcast, and I was really impressed when he could really articulate himself well.
Yeah. He does commentary for PBC on Fox.
Yeah. With
Joe Goosen and I think Brian Kenny.
It's always good when you see like an older fighter like that still look good and talking good and everything.
Oh, that reminds me, Roy Jones. Yeah, Roy Jones was doing the commentary.
I love Roy Jones commentary.
I miss that made me miss like the HBO.
Yeah, like it was Max Kellerman and
Max Kellerman
and Roy Jones.
Well, yeah, Kellerman. I think he did like the interviews on like the ring and stuff.
Okay.
But I think it was Jim Lampley, Roy Jones, and Larry Merchant. Yeah, Larry Merchant was.
I did think the same thing. I think I was gonna mention that to you too. I was like, man, it feels good to hear Roy Jones commentate. Like,
Jim Lampley was supposed to commentate for the De La Hoya Vita Belfort fight.
Oh yeah.
But then once everything got switched up, and he was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
And then they had to make the call.
So, DAZN should definitely. They already got Roy Jones. If they can get Jim Lampley, man, that would make DAZN a lot. They got Michael Buffer, so they got like all the classic stuff, And I'm pretty sure Max Kellerman, because he doesn't do it for ESPN.
Yeah.
He used to, but
he works at ESPN, but he's not.
Right, but I don't know if he.
I don't think he does their fights like that.
He might still be able to do commentary for DAZN.
Yeah, but it definitely was good to hear Roy Jones commentating the fights. He's great.
Yeah, but good weekend, man.
Yeah.
Is there a fight next week?
I'm not sure if it's next week or the week after, but there is a fight night.
There is real quick. I'll just mention Chris Eubanks, who actually is trained by Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
He fights next week. I think that's a DAZN fight.
Yeah, October 2nd, right? That's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Thiago Santos is taking on Johnny Walker, light heavyweight. That should be a good fight. Thiago Santos, I think he had one fight since he fought John Jones. That fight against John Jones was crazy.
Yeah.
He gave him a hell of a fight, and super impressive by Thiago Santos. He went the distance with John Jones, and apparently he blew out everything in both his knees, like both ACLs and like both MCLs or whatever, and both his knees. Like that's why he was out for so long. Like his legs were completely shot in that fight.
Wow.
Which was crazy because he was throwing kicks to the end of it. It was wild. And then Johnny Walker, he's a younger up and comer. He had a lot of hype around him, but I think they threw him to the lions too quick. You know what I mean? He got knocked out when he fought Corey Anderson, I think, who has since went on to Bellator. He got knocked out by Corey Anderson, and then he got beat up by a wrestler, and so he's looking for a win. But he's real flashy. He's fun to watch. He's real explosive, but he definitely has a lot of holes in his game. Mm-hmm. Thiago Santos is strong and so well-rounded. I think Thiago Santos will probably pull it off. Oh shit! Look, Kevin Holland fights too. The co-main event. I didn't know this. Kyle Dukakis.
Nice.
I don't know anything about Kyle, but Kevin Holland's always fun to watch. He's took some time off finally after fighting like 5 times last year. His last 2 fights, he got beat by wrestlers. Derek Brunson. He got beat by Derek Brunson and then got beat by the Italian guy that Izzy beat. Marvin Vittori. He got beat up by both those guys, wrestlers on the ground. So his wrestling looked horrible. Like Kevin Holland looked like, which is weird because he's good at jiu-jitsu. Like he has high level jiu-jitsu, but he was just getting like overpowered by guys. Like in wrestling, I guess it's a lot different. It's a lot different, I guess. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and MMA. Alex Oliveira. This guy's fun to watch. Nico Price. This might be a rematch,
Yeah, I think it is.
right?
I think it is.
I think they had like an epic fight before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that should be a really good fight.
Yeah, 'cause that sounds real familiar.
Yeah.
That's a decent card.
Yeah, it's not bad. Aspen Ladd, she's good. She's coming back. This guy's good. Alexander Hernandez. Yeah, this is a pretty decent card. Next week on
Cool.
ESPN Plus.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Valentina's sister, Antonia Shevchenko's fighting on the prelims. Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Word.
What else was I gonna say? I think oh yeah, so the Brandon Moreno and Figueroa, Davidson Figueroa 3 was announced. That's gonna headline 269.
Nice.
December 11th. And then Misha Tate is out with COVID at her next fight. I forget when that one was supposed to be. I think it was gonna be on the next pay-per-view. And then Aljamain Sterling, he's out of 267 with apparently a lingering neck injury, which was he had like a major neck surgery after his fight with Peter Yan, when Aljamain won pretty much by disqualification, ended up winning the belt.
Yeah.
Which I was so weird. Like, that was so weird the way that happened.
Yeah.
Like, I do kind of think that Aljamain was acting a little bit, but I don't know if he knew that he was gonna get the belt.
The belt, right? Yeah, because when he was expected to be announced the winner, but then when they put the belt around his waist, that's when he started like putting his hands over his face and shaking his head.
His face was really like embarrassed. Like, he really was like, "Fuck!" Like,
yeah, cause yeah, you don't want to win the title like that, and I don't know if that was the first time of him winning that title, but like, you certainly don't want to.
I mean, he's definitely
you want a story.
He definitely earned the title shot and everything. He's definitely good, but he was getting beat. He was getting beat up pretty bad. Like,
yeah,
he had like Peter Yan had pretty much broke him to the point where he basically took a knee, and then that's why he kneed him in the head. You know what I mean? Like, he basically took a knee. He got kneed in the head. And then he started rolling around and shit. And I do think he was maybe acting a little bit. I think he just didn't want to keep fighting. Yeah. But I don't think that he wanted to get the belt that way. Yeah. So it's kind of unfortunate. Honestly, like, from the way the UFC has done people, like, I think they've done people dirty sometimes. Like, Tony Ferguson, he was straight up stripped when he had won the interim title. And then he blew out his knee, like, in training. And he got straight up stripped from the for the title. So I think they should just do the same thing to Aljamain. I think they should just strip him and just fucking make a Peter Yan fight. Either well, he'd probably have to fight Corey Sandhagen, even though Corey just lost to T.J. Dillashaw. T.J. Dillashaw like fucking blew out his shoulder or something in that fight, or it was that first round submission. Remember, Corey Sandhagen got him like in some kind of arm shoulder lock or something and like popped his shoulder in that fight. Yeah. And so TJ had to get like major surgery after that, so he's not gonna be ready to fight for a while. So I think Corey Sandhagen will probably be the next fight. So I think they should kind of do that. I think they should just do Corey Sandhagen and Peter Yan for the belt and just strip Aljamain, because not like he earned it anyway. Right. Like, it's fucking stupid. So I think they're gonna do a what's it called, like an interim. They're probably gonna do an interim belt or whatever. Yeah. I saw fucking what's his name when they announced that Aljamain was out. Sugar Sean was like, he tweeted or something, was like, "Give me that fight against Peter Yan." But then that made me think for a second when I first read that, I was like, oh, that would be for the belt. But then I remembered, now that wouldn't even be for the belt. Yeah. So I don't know, but they could make that for the belt. I'm sure a lot of people will be pissed that fucking O'Malley gets the title shot. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. So he's at a 267. The main event on that was Glover Teixeira is gonna be fighting for the light heavyweight belt against Jan Blachowicz. Crazy to see Glover Teixeira. I'm not exactly sure how old he is. He hasn't been in his 40s though. Like, he fought for the belt when John Jones was champ, like way back in the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Glover Teixeira's been around. He's been around for a while. So it's pretty impressive to see him get another title shot at 40 something. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be crazy. That's probably gonna be a good fight. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, I think that's all I got for MMA. Word. Good stuff. Yeah, so that fight, the fight night next week, It looks like there's gonna be a fight night after that. There's plenty of fight nights coming up actually. Right. Before the next pay-per-view. So yeah.
Oh, all right. So thanks again for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Once again, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
This is the OnlyFights podcast, and we out.
Peace.